Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is What's My Legal Rights? Hurry back and join us. Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is What's My Legal Rights? But we have one of Detroit's finest, or should I say Michigan's finest lawyers in the house with us today, Attorney Mike Morse of Mike Morse Law Firm. Good morning, Attorney Mike Morse.
Good morning. That's such a nice introduction. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming.
That's my pleasure.
Well, you know what? Now, I'm glad to have you come because a lot of the viewers who always see you, doing something wonderful in the community and the commercials and everything.
Right.
So we asked you to come today because we had some questions and concerns about the new laws that's changing in Michigan. But first, I'd like to start off. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your firm?
Well, sure. The Mike Morse Law Firm, we're located in Southfield. We have 150 legal professionals, 40 attorneys, representing the entire state of Michigan and all types of cases, from auto accidents and truck accidents and motorcycle, pedestrian, dog bite, medical malpractice, police misconduct cases, everything. Whenever somebody's injured, that's when they should call us.
Okay. So how long have you been in practice, Mike?
Since 1992. I know I don't look that old, but it's almost 30 years I've been doing this.
Okay.
But since I graduated University of Detroit, Mercy Law School in 1992, and I've been doing it ever since, right here in the D.
Okay. No wonder we have a connection because I went to Mercy College. Okay?
Oh, did you?
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, nice.
But I'm not telling what year.
Okay.
But that's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
Okay, now, a lot of times people don't understand that, when they see you, they think that, oh, I can't call him because he's on TV and it's a little too high profile. So can you kind of let us know? I don't think that's the case.
No. I don't. It costs nothing to come see me. It costs nothing to talk to me on the phone or one of my legal professionals. In Michigan, personal injury cases are under a contingency fee system. So sometimes you'll hear us lawyers on TV doing the no fee guarantees or any of this kind of stuff. That's kind of a misnomer because we can't charge a fee unless we win the case. Every lawyer, it's not different from one lawyer to the other. Some will like you to think it is, but every lawyer who does what I do, there's no fee until we win. So if a client wants to call and talk, come in, even if we represent them, some lawyers that you lose the case, you don't get paid, but we win most of our cases. Okay. So we get paid from at the end of the case. So it's a win-win for everybody. We work really hard to win the cases, and that's why people should not be afraid to call us. There's no fee. They don't have to give me any money to sit down with us. Okay. So that's how it works.
Well, that's a wonderful thing to know, and I'm sure after the show airs, more calls will come.
Well,
okay,
we can handle it.
Well, I'm just saying, as people would say, well, I want to talk to them, but they look like they're too high profile, okay? Because commercials do that, okay? So television advertisement and stuff kind of scare people away, even though it brings some people forward, but it scares some people away, on low income level at that.
So I hear you. A lot of clients come up to me though all the time on the streets and tell me how approachable I am, and I like that.
Yes.
And I think I try to do some different types of commercials with my mom, and I try to make them a little bit funny, because I don't want to come off any other way than I am. And this is me. Okay. And the commercials are me, and I'm not acting. And I like to entertain people and make some of the commercials funny. And sometimes they have to be serious. And once I take the case, we're really serious. But we like to have fun with it all.
Well, the compassionate part, where you show where you are concerned about Detroiters or Michiganian, period, is what I felt coming forward. And I said, well, let's see if you'll come. And, you came. So I'm very appreciative that you came to join us today.
My pleasure.
Okay. Now, I'm going to go back to some of the legal questions I have, but I do know every year you involve yourself with the educational component. What is that about?
So my mom was a Detroit public school teacher and librarian. And, I used to hear stories through her eyes about the struggles of the students and the struggles of the teachers having to pay for the students' supplies. And about 6 years ago, I was told that a lot of the kids in Detroit were struggling with the supplies, were struggling with no backpacks. Some of the teachers were reporting to me that the kids were coming with little garbage bags if they had supplies. And I said, if my kids get new backpacks and new supplies every year, why can't these kids? And it really upset me. And I said, this is a problem that I could probably handle. I could probably tackle. Not every problem I can, there's some big problems out there. But backpacks and supplies I thought I could do. So I told my team, how many kids are there in Detroit Public Schools? From like kindergarten to 5th grade, and there was over 28,000, which is a big number. So some of my team said, well, we could do kindergartners and 1st graders and it would cut down the cost. And I said, well, what about those 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th graders looking at those kindergartners and the 1st graders getting these great backpacks with supplies? That would not make me feel good. So I said, that's not acceptable. So we decided to do them all. And we've been doing them all now for 6 years. And this year, actually, we did something fun. We gave them out to kids outside of Detroit. We had an event in my parking lot in Southfield. And over 5,000 to 6,000 people showed up for backpacks. In addition to the Detroit Public School kids, we had a party. We had Piston players there. We had the Piston cheerleaders, face painting, food. It was so much fun.
Don't think I didn't see it.
Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
Did you come? You should have come.
You know what? A lady, I was on the service drive, and a lady pulled up next to me, and she said, can you tell me where is the Mike Morse Law Firm? And I looked at her and I said, excuse me? And she said, I'm trying to get to the Mike Morse Law Firm. And I said, you got to go down 696 and come up on the Evergreen ramp.
Yes.
And she says, I said, you'll see his name on the building. So I did.
Well, next year, I would love you to come. Do a podcast from there or a shoot or something. We had a lot of people, so I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, the turnout is great, and I'm sure every year it just gets bigger and bigger.
It does.
And and for you to do that from your heart, not only does the Detroit Public Schools appreciate it, the Southfield schools or whatever areas that you support, that's great, because a lot of kids don't have supplies, and the parents can't afford the clothes and the supplies at the same time.
We get so many nice emails and calls thanking us. I get calls every year from moms and dads and grandparents and aunts and uncles saying, we were struggling because we were making the decisions between food and supplies, between uniforms and supplies, and that just breaks my heart. And I'm so happy that if I can help a few families, I'm thrilled. And it is getting bigger and bigger. I do get a lot of thank yous, which makes me feel really, really good. And I'm going to keep doing it. And I want every kid in Michigan to have the right supplies, so when they get into school, they can be on the same playing field as the kids with supplies. The teachers don't have to reach into their pocketbooks. They can get to the first day of school, pay attention, be ready to go, right?
Right.
That's my dream.
Well, I tell you what, before we take a break, we want to thank your mother for planting that seed.
Well,
okay?
I'll tell her
Thank
you
Mom.
said so.
Thank her.
I will.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Welcome back to the second half of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you're just not tuning in, you know how I am. I always try to give you food for thought. So today is our What's My Legal Rights segment, and we have attorney Mike Morse of Mike Morse Law Firm. Now, some of you are always saying, you see him on commercials and everything, you're like, is he really approachable? He's sitting right here, isn't he? So if you have a question, you can always give us a call, 1-800-323-5336, 1-800-323-5336, or email me, Marcia at Just Dance Talk Show, and we'll shoot the question over to him. We'll make sure that he knows who you are. All right? So I had to say that because the viewers, when they see you, they're like, oh, okay, he's talking to Marsha. So we want to know
Talking
if
to
they have
Marsha.
questions.
Okay.
We'll get them over to you. Now, I did have a question. I'm sure a lot of our viewers have a question. Can you give us some insight on the no-fault laws that changed, or the process that's changed over the summer?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me about that. It's really upsetting. So Michigan's no-fault law has been the best insurance for car accident victims in the country since the early 70s. The best. My father practiced with that law. I've been practicing since 1992. There is, if God forbid you're in a car accident, there's no better place to be in an accident than Michigan, because the doctors and the rehab facilities, there's such an infrastructure here to take care of people and get them better. And that doesn't exist in every state, and I have checked. The governor, our governor, Governor Whitmer, went against all of her campaign promises. She said, we're not going to mess with no fault. We are not going to change no fault. She told, I was in several meetings listening to this. And then in the middle of the night, she colluded with the Republicans to pass a bill without public hearing, without public debate, against all of her campaign promises, and sold us all down the river, and changed the no fault law overnight to make it much, much worse, in my opinion. And they're promising lower rates, but the benefits are going basically away. They are having fee schedules. They are giving consumers choice. You could buy $250,000 or $50,000 or $500,000 worth of benefits, but nobody thinks they're going to get in a car accident. Right. So up until now, we have unlimited. Until next July, we have unlimited. And then people are going to have to choose. And then what are they going to do? They're going to probably choose lower rates. And then when they get in a bad car accident, when they're catastrophically injured, they're going to use up their benefits within a week, and then they're going to be on Medicaid. Or they're going to have their own health insurance, which isn't going to cover everything that's being covered right now. And I have so many clients, and I know so many people who represent injured people, who think this is the worst law ever in the history of Michigan changes. And nobody's happy about this. The only people happy, guess who's happy, Marsha?
Who's happy?
The insurance companies.
Well, of course.
Because what's going to happen is they're not going to lower the rates.
But
They're going to keep more premiums. They're going to stop paying people, and they're going to make their shareholders happy. And who's going to be hurting? Everybody else. Anybody in a car accident is going to be hurting. I'm sorry I cut you.
Nope, you didn't
What's
cut me
up?
off. I just had a concern. It's like, well, originally people were upset because the rates, insurance rates for Michigan is the highest. No other state had the highest insurance rates for drivers. And young people was out the window, just extreme. So was the real reason behind this change supposed to have been the fact that we were concerned about the rates being extremely high, and you go to another state and theirs was extremely low?
Nobody knows why the governor did what she did, okay? Behind closed doors, did she feel pressure from the Republicans? Did she feel pressure from the business people who wanted this done? Some people were saying we were going to do a referendum if you don't get this done. Nobody really knows. I haven't heard a good answer why she did this, okay? All I know is my prediction, okay? So we're now in 2019. This law goes into effect July 2020. Have me back on next year, because my prediction is your rates are not going to go down, okay? They are not going to go down. And your benefits did go down, okay? Because you're going to have less benefits, you're going to have less coverage, you're not going to have a lot of these hospitals and facilities are going to go out of business, and it's going to be a disaster, because when these people get catastrophically injured and they use up their benefits, they're going to our Medicaid system, which is going to be more money out of our pockets. It's going to be more taxes. This is a big ruse. I don't think we're going to see any rate reductions. Okay. And my advice to your viewers is to buy the unlimited, spend the extra couple bucks. Yeah. The reason we have high rates is because nobody is mandating that these insurance companies lower their rates. Nobody is taking care of us.
That was the real reason.
Well, because we're not doing our jobs.
Right, but that was the reason people were complaining. They wanted to have the rates lowered. They didn't think all this other stuff was going to go into effect in the package. And then once the new law goes into effect, and like you said, we better off going to the unlimited, because that's going to be the same thing we're already into now.
Buy the unlimited. And to answer the other question is, where's our legislature? Where's our people protecting us? Why are these insurance companies running rampant over us? Why isn't anybody checking these rates? Why do we have the highest in the nation? Okay? Then why aren't they lowering our rates? But they're promised We have been promised lower rates. Let's see what happens. I'm predicting right now on your show, we are not going to see significant rate relief or even a little bit of rate relief. Maybe you might see 10%, but you're selling out all your benefits, so who would want 10%?
Right.
If they can't afford the high rates, you're not going to be able to afford the high rates minus 10%.
But what's going to happen with the uninsured? What's going to happen with the uninsured? Because my thing is, I had an auto accident, and thank God I came out okay. It took a long time, but you know, an uninsured person probably hit me. It was a hit and run, so an uninsured person hit me. So what's going to happen if you encounter an uninsured motorist, and you know they don't have any insurance, but I got insurance? Is the situation still going to be on the table? I mean, or is it best that a person like myself keep unlimited because that's the only way I'm going to survive this?
So we still have a no-fault state. So what you're really asking about is a third-party bodily injury, pain and suffering question, okay?
Right.
So to protect, if you're listening to this, to protect yourself from uninsured drivers, you need to have really good uninsured motorist benefits. Uninsured motorist benefits and underinsured motorist benefits. So when you call your agent, hopefully from a good insurance company, ask for higher levels of insurance for uninsured motorists. So let's say you have $100,000 of uninsured motorists, which is about $20 or $30 a year.
Okay.
$250 is not that much more. $500,000 you should have as high as you can afford. Okay, and it's not that much money to go up in increments. If somebody hits you uninsured and you have a very bad injury, you turn to your own insurance company. They step in the shoes of the negligent driver and pay you off your own policy. So if you had 100 or 250, that's what you take from. So that's how you protect yourself from people who don't have insurance. Uninsured motorist protection.
Okay. Okay. And that's good to know, Mike. Excuse me, Mike, because a lot of people, I didn't have no insurance, you know, and somebody hit me, and they don't know. Though the person didn't have insurance, but they have insurance. So one party doesn't recognize what they're supposed to be able to do.
You have to have insurance. It's against the law not to. And so that is a problem. But if you want to worry about yourself, which we have to take our own personal responsibility, right? We can't worry about that other driver. So you need to have really good insurance with a really good company and have as high a limits as you can have on uninsured motorists and underinsured motorists. That's a really important thing to take away.
Okay, okay. Now, before I go to break again, there's some insurance companies that are really, I mean, just overbearing. Do we have, do you feel comfortable enough to tell us about what would be a good insurance company?
Well,
and I shouldn't say what's a good insurance
You've seen
company,
my commercials.
but right.
Okay, so in my personal opinion,
Okay.
I wouldn't let a family member have State Farm insurance,
Wow.
Allstate insurance.
Okay.
I would let a family member have a Chubb insurance or Pure insurance, but you know I don't want to talk out of school. But you know you told me you mentioned you had a car accident,
Yeah,
and
but
you
I
told
had
me
one
I
of
had
those.
you
That's
told me I
right.
had a bad. You said I had a bad insurance company,
Yeah.
and I guessed. And you want to
Yeah.
tell your viewers what insurance?
No, I don't want to tell.
Can I say it?
No, I don't want to go.
Well, it was
through
one of the
that,
two
but
I
it was
just
right,
mentioned,
Right.
and so they were bad to you.
They were.
And so,
But,
I
you
hear
know,
that every day.
but
I hear that
see,
every day.
And I got that, but see, as a person who gets insurance, we go by what we see every day on TV.
Yes. And guess
we
what?
go by what people say. Oh, get this one. Oh, get that one. And you see the majority of Michiganians have the same insurances until something happens to them, and then we're all in the same cesspool with like, it happened to you? Oh, I didn't know that happened to you.
Well, it's kind of, listen, nobody likes paying for insurance, me included, but it's a protection, right? And you've also heard nobody likes to call a lawyer until they need a lawyer, and you've heard that too. And then when it's time to call a lawyer, you call the best, just like insurance. Go to the best. Don't cheap out. Ask your friends. Ask your family members. And I have a feeling those two insurance companies I mentioned, you're going to hear not so good things about. But don't just take my word or your word.
Okay.
You know, have people ask around, shop around, and cheapest is not always best. My mom used to always say, you get what you pay for. Good is good.
Good is good.
Have you heard these things?
I heard those things.
Okay.
We're going to go to break, and we'll be right back.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
And welcome back to the last half of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you know me. If you're just not tuning in, what? You're missing a great show. I have in the cool, in the cool seat today, Attorney Mike Morse of Mike Morse Law Firm. He's answering some wonderful questions, but you all may have some more, and I know you do. So I encourage you to call us, 1-800-323-5336, 1-800-323-5336. Email me at Marsha@JustAsTalkShow or #JustAsTalkShow. So any way you want to get a question over to Mike Morse and his law firm, please give us a call or contact me, and I'm sure he'll be willing to answer it, and then we'll piggyback on it and make sure, the audience get to know what it is that you have a concern about. Now, today's subject mainly was about the insurances and things of that nature, so I wanted to continue, Mike, and ask you a question about people have a hard time picking an attorney, but when they do pick one, what is it they should be looking for when they get an attorney?
It's a great question. And let me also say, if your viewers or listeners want to call me, it's directly at 855-MIKE-WINS. And because I love your podcast so much, we're going to do our own podcast called Open Mike.
Okay.
And people can find us. Just search for Open Mike. We're going to be on YouTube. We're going to be on all the podcast channels, so they can look for us and ask questions that way too. So what to look for when you're looking for a good attorney. Okay, now this applies to any type of an attorney. It could be a family law lawyer, a criminal lawyer, or a personal injury lawyer, which is what I do. You want to look for somebody with experience, somebody who's been doing this a long time, somebody who has a reputable firm with lots of lawyers, because you want backup. If you hire a solo practitioner, those are okay sometimes, but you want somebody who, if they're on vacation, that they're there for you, right? So we have 40 lawyers. We have 100+ other staff members. You want somebody who goes to trial, who's tried lots of cases. My firm's in trial every month. I've tried dozens of jury trials. All my lawyers try cases. So that's really important. The experience is important. Ask your family, ask your friends, ask for other clients. You could get a review. And the thing that I do a lot is I sit down with clients who have other attorneys, and I give them second opinions. Or they're interviewing attorneys. Come interview me. I'd love to be interviewed. And if you like what you see, hire me. If you don't, go somewhere else.
That's understandable.
It's fine. It's fine by me. You got to have a connection. You got to have a relationship. It's important. When you call that law firm, do they immediately take your call, or do you go to voicemail? Are they respectful to you? Are they answering your questions? Do they care? I mean, use your gut, use your intuition before you make that very important decision.
Right. Now, a lot of times when people don't know, but more or less you can actually Google a person, or attorney, or anyone, and find out about their history, their work ethics, and things like that. And some people, we don't do that every day, because whatever's happening to us is happening in the here and now, and we need to get someone on it right away.
Let me give you my take on reviews. We have a fine review on Google and Avvo and other sites. But my impression is that people like to put negative reviews and not the positive reviews. Do you ever see that when you're looking at reviews? Like if I'm on certain channels, I'm looking at people, and it's like, where's the love? It's the negative sometimes over the positive, and I try to do more positive reviews. If I'm at a good restaurant, I'm giving them a positive reviews. I'm telling, hey, Marsha, I just had this great meal the other day. You got to go check it out. But definitely check out reviews. Read them, but take some of them with a grain of salt.
Right.
But we have great reviews. Please look at our reviews. But I'm talking about any other lawyers, any other people. That's just my take on that.
Okay. No, that's a good idea, because a lot of times, like I said, when something's happening, you may ask a neighbor, who do you recommend? And
Absolutely.
they may tell you somebody, okay, but that person may not be a absolute match for you, but you were recommended. So my thing is, like you said, come and see you first.
Come see me. Let's sit down. Let's have a coffee. Let's see if we fit. Let's see if I want your case. Let's see if you want me to work on your case, and then make a decision. Don't make it just that's my advice, is to call the lawyer. We all give free consultations. If a potential lawyer won't give you a free consultation, find another lawyer. Right?
I wonder about that, because some lawyers don't want to give free consultation.
Then do you want that lawyer?
Not me, because I'm like, well, first of all, I'm already broke, so how am I going to get you to help me get this money or win this case or whatever, and I got to pay you before the consultation, or pay for the consultation, and I think that's not fair in any area, because the consultation, I'm trying to tell you my story, what went on and everything, and then I'm paying you to tell you, and then you're going to turn around and say, I don't think I'm the one for you, but I paid you.
So consultation should be free.
Consultation
Call
should be free.
the office and say, can I come in for a free consultation? If they say yes, go take advantage of that, no matter what type of law.
Right.
If they say no, it'll cost you, make that decision. Is it worth $100 or $500 to sit down and tell your story? That's up to the
Right,
consumer.
right.
We have free consultations at
Right.
my firm.
Thank you. Because, I look at it like if I could afford it, then I
Right.
then I wouldn't be telling you that. I have to tell you the story over and over and over. So you have
Right.
to me be careful when you're trying to tell the story, get the right person, because you don't really have the money in the first place. A lot of people don't have it to do, and they're trying to get to the right person, and somebody actually had them pay them to tell the story, and it's not a win-win. But in your case, at least we know we can tell our story.
It's a win-win. I'm a
Okay.
winner. You know that.
Okay.
Right? It's,
Yes, I
it's in
do.
the phone number.
Okay,
The phone numbers
okay.
don't lie. Right?
No, it don't. No, it don't. So give us the idea, if you have it, how a person can find cheaper rates for insurance.
So, insurance companies are not my best friend. You've seen the tag. No wonder the insurance companies hate us.
That's
no
my
wonder clients
Right.
love us.
Right.
That's true.
That's my favorite.
However, let me give you a couple ideas.
Okay.
Okay. Number one, you got to be honest with the insurance companies. Unfortunately, people think they got to game the system and tell them that the car is in a different spot or that that they're living in a different address. Bad idea. Always be truthful with the insurance companies. Because even if you get a $10 rate savings, if you get in a car accident and you lie to your insurance companies, they will try to void out your policy. Okay? Definitely shop around. Take 3, 4, 5 quotes. Take the time to get different quotes and figure out what benefits do you really need and what benefits don't you need. For example, with this new law, certain health insurance companies that are paid for by your employer are going to start covering auto accidents.
Oh, yeah.
That's new. Okay? This is new. And not a lot of people know that. But if they are going to cover you, then you may be able to take cheaper rates. You may be able to get cheaper rates and take less benefits. Now, I don't know. I still think if you can afford it, get the unlimited. But you have to check your health insurance company to see what benefits they're going to have. I don't want you paying for benefits twice.
Right.
Right? Does that make sense? So you have to know. And these policies are being written as we speak because the law doesn't come into effect until July 2020. So the insurance companies, health insurance and otherwise, are figuring it out as we speak. So ask questions, do your research, compare, be truthful with the insurance companies, and, hopefully
Oh, yeah.
you'll get a good rate.
Okay. Well, you know what, Mike? You gave us a wealth of information today. Will you come back and see us again?
Please, invite me.
Of course.
I'll be back.
Okay, so you're going to come and join us on the podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
Be my pleasure. And
All
you
right.
come on my
I
podcast.
sure will. Okay.
Open mic.
All right, open mic. Okay. Okay. I thank you so much, and our viewers thank you as well.
My
Okay.
pleasure.
So I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
All
Yes.
right. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't tell you today was a good day, like always. So I want to tell you today is like one of those things that you're going to see this show and you're going to, like, just in time, know how to pick your policy or pick an attorney or whatever you want to do when it comes down to making a decision for your legal rights to be met. So we appreciate Mike Morse coming in today. And if you have questions, what I always tell you, 1-800-323-5336, Twitter, Just Ask Talk Show, or email Marsha at Just Ask Talk Show. I'm your host, Marsha Florence at Just Ask, and what do I always say? If you know a person with a disability or if you just have a general question, don't be afraid to ask, just ask. I'm your host. Thank you.